Hi everyone, it's Sean from STK Markets this morning. We've got Southern Cross, Mike Hudson with us today. Welcome, Mike. Thanks for giving us a quick chat.
Thanks, Sean. Great to be here as always with you. Thanks for allowing us to give an update.
Mike, it's been a very interesting month for you for us at Southern Cross. What you set out to do 6 months ago with Mawson and Southern Cross consolidating them, it's been a mammoth job. And like with everything Southern Cross has done, it looks like you've been successful yet again. Do you just want to comment, getting to the point where we've actually consolidated the entities and the share price has held up beautifully?
Yeah, Sean. So we're literally days away from everything being back to normal. It's been quite the process going through the scheme, and even though the scheme was voted on December the 13th and got plus 99% approval, we hit a Christmas period and courts were on holidays, etc., where we needed court approval. So we've gone through all that while everybody's been on break, and we now have two. We have the company listed on both exchanges. That's happened. So we've got the old Mawson's trading in Canada under SXGC, Southern Cross Gold Consolidated, and it's trading here in Australia as SX2. Now, SXGC in Canada has been trading more or less normally. It had a few days trading halt as the scheme was being implemented. It's been trading. People have been getting used to the new ticker over there. Here, most importantly in Australia, SX2 has been trading, but there's been very little liquidity. And that's because the stock has not been distributed to shareholder accounts yet. And it's very important to understand the timetable here. It's a whole lot of mechanics with computer share and the ASX, etc. So we're almost there. By Friday the 24th, computer share are going to distribute on a one-for-one basis. If you held an SXG share, you'll get an SX2 share, and that will be in your account by Friday. All things being considered equal, certainly it goes into the CHESS system, and if you've got a hit, it will be in your account. So that's a big one. So by Friday, that will occur Friday morning, the 24th of January, and then we've got a holiday, Australia Day here on the 26th. So well, the 27th actually. 26th is a Sunday, 27th is a Monday, which is the public holiday. So 28th will be the day that it's the first time that SX2 trades with normal settlement. Then on Wednesday and Thursday next week, the 29th and 30th of January, holding statements and allotment advices will be issued by the registry, and new shares, the new Mawson shares or the SX2 shares will be distributed to holders. So that's it. We're literally days away from it being normalized, but we've gone through a hell of a lot to get here. And why has it happened? For consolidation of the entity into one entity, which has got a great shareholder base, over 55% institutional and major high net worths, and that dual listing, of course, that we can discuss a bit more.
That's great, Mike. So the dual listing gives us exposure to overseas investors that wanted to get exposure to Southern Cross primarily. It unwinds that overhang that was received with Mawson, and it's all happened. So next week things should get back to normal in terms of liquidity. There's been a little bit of trading of late with institutions that can sell a few, but volumes have been really down because it's obvious to me that if there's not that much liquidity and the institutions are the only ones that can really trade, they're wanting to buy. So that's a really good sign from what I'm looking at. I know I bought some this week. I couldn't help myself getting some more. I mean, with the timing of everything, Mike, we haven't had an announcement since just before Christmas. So I'm very excited because we've always got jewelry spinning. There should be some news coming out imminently. So it's a really good time for shareholders. We've got this new structure announcement coming soon with results, as always, and a new, I guess, year for Southern Cross to keep drilling out this fabulous system.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've had the rigs turning for the last few weeks, just after New Year's, and the lab didn't take much of a break. So there's always news flow from Southern Cross regarding drill results with 5 rigs and an imminent sixth just coming to site. Our plan is to make this bigger, and that's what we've been doing. Our aim is to get to that 3 million ounces at 10 grams per ton in an exploration target. So that's our stated aim within the core area. Not forgetting though that we need to extend into the other 90% of the trend, and we've got the IP survey ongoing along that trend. We've got mapping and soils going along. So we don't forget the exploration upside, because at some point soon we'll move into more so drilling out the core area once we get that scale that we're aiming for, and we need to overlap the Lassonde curves, if you like. So we have the core area heading towards the top of that first segment of the Lassonde curve, and then we find something else along the strike, ideally, and we have another Lassonde curve starting. So we can overlap those curves, and the value over time keeps increasing.
I think it's quite evident, Mike, where you had 25 drill holes when we did the IPO, and you found gold pretty much straight away. One of the highlights of this discovery is that you discovered it at the beginning of the raising. You didn't discover it after spending 100 million. You've discovered it after spending about a couple of $1,000,000. So there's not a lot of shares on issue for this type of discovery. And what that leads me to think, with this mapping and this geophysics that you've done along the rest of the trench, where the old timers have already pulled out a lot of gold, we're thinking that there could be several Sunday creeks, which is why I went back on the buy side as soon as SX2 came back on trading. I was happy to pick up some more shares, because I do see the discovery that you've got now going to 3 million, hopefully could be replicated several times.
Well, the system's very large. The mineralized system is very large, so there's room to move without a doubt, and that's what people want to see. No doubt, we've got one of the world's better high-grade discoveries that we're de-risking all the time, but we're only exploring that key major discovery in 10% of the trend, like I said. So there's 90% of the extensions of that golden ladder that extends over that total area, and there's parallel zones as well. So that's a key point. And you just mentioned one thing there. I just wanted to emphasize that the capital structure of Southern Cross Gold Consolidated, which trades as SXGC on the TSXV, the Toronto Stock Exchange, and on the Australian Securities Exchange, the ASX, is SX2. The capital structure hasn't changed. So there's 220 odd million shares outstanding, 221.6 to be precise, and that's what it was the day before the scheme happened. So the structure hasn't changed as well. That's a key point to make, I think.
I think the key thing is it's that the one shareholder owning 50% stopped a lot of funds buying, which I've seen time and time again with our roadshows around the world and in Australia. So what it's actually done is unlocked the potential of the transfers to all the existing shareholders who already held Mawson and who could have sold. That risk has disappeared now. So I'm envisaging a lot of buying, hence why I went on the buy side earlier this week.
Well, that's the reason we've done it, Sean, to simplify the capital structure, remove that perceived overhang, get the hands into the shareholders of Mawson, who were very much replicated in the old Southern Cross, and now we all own the asset 100% in one entity, and North Americans know and understand high grade Victorian gold. I think the other thing to speak about just before we leave, if we may, is just the changing environment in Victoria. So just before Christmas, the Victorian government announced the Victorian Critical Minerals Strategy, which was very important. It wasn't just words. It actually stated that they're going to limit their permitting of mines to a time frame of 18 months. And then the day after they announced this strategy, they approved 2 major mineral sands mines, which is the first time for a decade and a half a major mine, not a smaller mine, has been permitted in the state. So they're very much open for business, and so we've got this dual listing, simplified structure, very much a positive environment that is benchmarked against some of the better jurisdictions now, despite people's view of Victoria. that's working very well with one of the world's best gold discoveries that has one of the largest drill programs globally on a gold project.
Laughed about this many times that you brought Southern Cross back to Australia. It's been the Canadians that have been buying it. This structure helps that. With marketing, have you got any plans of going over to North America to let people know what you've done, as you've successfully done over the last couple of years? You can continue that in the short term.
Yeah, Sean, we're road warriors again. We're very well used to that lifestyle and what's required to make a stock well known in the North American market. So Nick Mead, our manager of corporate development, myself are off to London and New York and the Bahamas and Toronto for the first half of February. We come back for a short week back to Australia, and then we're off to Miami and the Bank of Montreal BMO conference, which is one of the world's best in Miami, and then going up to Toronto to another conference, Metal Investor Forum. Up there, then that dovetails onto the PDAC. We've also got Kenny Bush, our exploration manager, and Lisa Gibbons, our general manager, coming to the PDAC. So we look forward to meeting all of us, lots of current and new shareholders, and telling the story, showing core. We'll have core at the PDAC and down in BMO, and even today we've got Kenny is across in Vancouver at the Cordillera Roundup in Vancouver, one of the world's larger technical meetings, showing off the core and explaining how the system works to many of the institutions and corporates over there.
Mike, with this unlocking of the structures, this is the perfect opportunity for you to showcase this. That's such a good thing that you're doing, getting the name out there and getting Southern Cross in front of people after you've done this. So thank you very much. It should be a very exciting couple of months, and it's I might have to buy some more. Mike, it's all looking very exciting. Very excited to see results continuing from Sunday Creek, which I believe are imminent just from the timing of it all. You're consistent with everything you do, and the news flow dictates something should come soon. If I'm a betting man, which I am, I think that looks good. But also the big uptick of that geophysics where you've explored the rest of the site. I think that's something where the valuation on Southern Cross is really on this 10% territory that you've done now. There's so much more upside with the rest of the tenements. So good luck with it all, Mike, and really looking forward to seeing how you go over the next 6 months, a year and beyond.
Thanks, Sean. Great to be able to give you an update.